He seemed like a man lost in the shadows, drifting through life, working odd jobs, and sleeping in a van covered in political stickers. But in October 2018, Cesar Sayoc would catapult into national headlines when he was arrested for sending pipe bombs to prominent critics of then-President Donald Trump. What began as a low-profile investigation into suspicious packages quickly spiraled into a federal manhunt. The question everyone was asking was, who was this man, and how had he managed to nearly pull off a campaign of terror across the United States? It started with a single package. On October 22, 2018, billionaire philanthropist George Soros received a suspicious package at his home in New York. Inside was a crude pipe bomb. It didn't detonate, but the threat was real. Within days, similar packages were discovered en route to Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, CNN's New York offices, and other public figures, including Joe Biden, Maxine Waters, Robert De Niro, and even former CIA Director John Brennan. Each device was built in the same way, crudely constructed but dangerous enough to cause serious harm or even death. The packages bore American flag stickers and were postmarked from Florida. The message was clear. Someone was targeting people with strong Democratic ties. The nation was on edge. News outlets ran wall-to-wall coverage. Security was heightened for elected officials. The FBI launched an intensive investigation to find out who was behind the attempted bombings. And soon, all eyes turned to Florida. That's where agents discovered a break in the case. Thanks to fingerprints and DNA left on the packages, the FBI was able to identify a suspect. Cesar Sayoc, a 56-year-old Florida man with a lengthy criminal record and a history of bizarre behavior. On October 26, 2018, he was arrested outside an AutoZone in Plantation, Florida. Sayoc's white van was immediately seized by authorities, and what they found stunned even seasoned agents. The vehicle was plastered with pro-Trump propaganda, images of Democratic figures with crosshairs on them, and stickers declaring mainstream news outlets as fake news. Inside the van were more bomb-making materials, lists of targets, and enough evidence to build a compelling federal case. Cesar Sayoc wasn't an anonymous figure. He had a long history of arrests dating back to the 1990s, including charges for theft, steroid possession, and making bomb threats. He lived a transient lifestyle, often working as a strip club DJ or pizza delivery man. But over time, Sayoc became increasingly radicalized by online conspiracy theories and right-wing political rhetoric. His social media accounts were filled with vitriol, propaganda, and personal threats toward prominent Democrats. At his court hearings, Sayoc appeared nervous and fidgety. His public defender described him as emotionally disturbed, someone who had fallen deep into a delusional world where violence seemed like the only way to make a political statement. In a letter to the judge, Sayoc later apologized for his actions, claiming he never intended for the bombs to hurt anyone. But that explanation didn't carry much weight in the courtroom. In August 2019, Cesar Sayoc pleaded guilty to 65 felony counts, including the use of weapons of mass destruction and interstate transportation of explosives. The judge sentenced him to 20 years in federal prison. The case was a chilling reminder of how extremist ideology, when left unchecked, can fuel real-world violence. What made the Sayoc case particularly disturbing was how close he came to inflicting mass harm. If any of those bombs had gone off, lives could have been lost. He didn't just send a political message, he terrorized a nation and weaponized fear. The case exposed the dark side of radicalization and how easily one man, with limited resources, could disrupt the peace and shake the foundations of civil discourse in America. Today, Sayoc sits behind bars, serving his sentence in a federal penitentiary. His case continues to serve as a sobering example of the dangerous intersection between mental health, extremism, and access to deadly materials. If you found this story compelling, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more in-depth true crime stories from around the world. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the most chilling stories aren't fiction, they're real.